Yo, do not let this sugar and spice routine get you caught up. Stalkers and people who are willing to hurt and or kill you over something like jealousy is real talk. Yo, what's good? Hope everybody's well. Welcome back to the Onyx Report, Black Masculinist news for the day. Trying to get one in. And today, we're going to talk about something that really caught me off guard. It's not like it's new. Stuff has been happening for years, but with technology, it takes on a whole different kind of tone. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, join, and donate. Support the channel if you will, so that this independent black male content can keep coming to you. Right? So let's check this out here. This is a piece you can find in crimeonline.com. And it is dated June 5th of this year. Indiana woman allegedly tracks boyfriend using Apple AirTags, accuses him of cheating, and murders him. Right? An Indiana woman is accused of killing her boyfriend after tracking him to a bar where he was having drinks with another woman, the Indianapolis Star reports. Now, this is the thing. This is one of the things I noticed, and I've been conducting this in class experiments in terms of conversation. I've seen this conducted even on something like 60 Minutes, where they'll interview women and talk about things like intimate partner homicide. And one of the things that I found consistently is that intimate partner homicide is somehow at least morally acceptable if infidelity is part of the dynamic. Meaning if he cheats, then there's some wiggle room as far as her reaction. She murders him, if she cuts off his penis, if she attacks him, there's the idea is that it's somehow warranted on one level or another, except when the situation is reversed. If she commits adultery, then the idea is that he must have failed her relationship wise. He didn't live up to his role of making her happy, and therefore she was justified in going out to find someone else. And you can conduct this experiment yourself. I've seen it for years too, like on Facebook, where I'll post an article about a woman who was attacked, killed her partner over something like infidelity. And unfailingly, I will get women who will come in and say, I wonder what he did to her. But when we post about, men who've killed their spouses, it's men are monsters. It's look at what you all do to us. It's these kinds of tones. It's interesting, kind of weird double standard. Anyway, authorities allege that 26-year-old Galen Morris used an Apple AirTag tracking device to monitor the location of her boyfriend, Andre Smith, also 26. According to court records obtained by the newspaper, Morris reportedly confronted Smith and another woman at Tilly's Pub in Indianapolis on Friday and allegedly threatened to beat up the woman while holding an empty wine bottle. Shit. Smith was able to get in between the two women and prevented a fight, but bar management asked the three to leave amid the disruption. Witnesses told investigators that Morris got into her black Chevrolet Impala and drove forward, knocking Smith down. She then reportedly put the vehicle in reverse and drove forward over him again. Now, y'all know I've shown multiple videos over the last couple years of that very thing. I've actually shown you the live video of women running over men with their cars. One woman had ran over him and was hitting him with the bumper of the car, even though he was unconscious and there was blood all over the road. And people, accept this. And the first question you can hear people asking is, wow, he probably cheated on her. Well, I wonder if he cheated on her. What did he do to her? And this is acceptable somehow in the popular consciousness. Morris allegedly got out of the vehicle and tried to attack the other woman before police officers got to the scene and intervened around 12:30 a.m. Friday. Medics located Smith's body under Morris's car outside the bar. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Witness told investigator that Morris explained to them that she had located Smith using an AirTag device because she suspected that he was cheating on her. Morris is facing a preliminary charge of murder. Final charges have not yet been decided. AirTags are coin-sized devices that use Bluetooth technology. They were designed to help users locate lost items such as keys and wallets, but the products have also been used unwittingly to track people and vehicles, including by stalkers and those intending to harm others. Apple has employed measures aimed at preventing unauthorized or unwanted tracking. This is what we're looking at. This is how people are treated. And I find it interesting because, I mean, I've noticed this, you know, since I think it really became apparent to me when iPhone started doing the, you know, the fingerprint kind of thing. And I kept hearing brothers telling me stories about, you know, waking up in the middle of the night and seeing girlfriends or wives, you know, picking up their phones, trying to use their fingers to set the, to open up the phone while he's asleep, these kinds of tactics, you know. And it's not new in terms of having people tracked. I mean, I've seen this happen in a lot of ways. I've seen, you know, women grab hold to old phones that were, you know, when you upgrade from one phone to the next, they've grabbed the old phone and used it to keep tabs on texts and things of that nature. And this is classic stalking. This is stalking. The question is whether or not it's actually reported as such, if it's ever reported at all. But this is something, I find it interesting because this is something that I've heard so many men comment about, and yet I'm not sure if the data actually keeps up with the nature of it. I'm not sure if the data requires that somebody actually have been incarcerated or sentenced for it in order for it to count as stalking. But it's something that I notice a lot of men attest to. But when it's reached this point, there's a problem, especially if we maintain this idea that somehow male infidelity is worthy of death, is worthy of intimate partner violence, is worthy of whatever she feels like doing to him, whether it's defecating on his bed, whether it's, you know, slashing his tires, breaking his windows, you know, attacking others. There's all kinds of things. And I've also had men report to me about other things that have happened. Women levying false accusations at his job, or going up to his job and raising a fuss enough for him to be fired simply because she keeps doing it and he can't stop her from doing it. Right? Writing letters to other people to publicly embarrass him, these kinds of things. And it goes unchecked. It goes unchecked. And sometimes it's questionable how much police intervention you can get when a woman decides to do these kinds of things to you. But again, as long as there's been some infidelity, one-way infidelity, meaning it's something he did on her, it's almost considered acceptable in mainstream culture. And there's kind of a finger wagging that takes place, even on just a silent level, like, well, he did kind of get what he deserves, unless the situation, as I said, is reversed. And then all of a sudden, you got to make all kinds of qualifications for her feelings, how she feels, so on and so forth. And here's the thing. I'm not saying infidelity doesn't hurt. I'm not saying that it should be ignored. I'm simply saying, because if anything, I'm an advocate of, you know, making the contract. What is the nature of the relationship? I am unapologetic. If a man wants to have just a physical relationship, then say so. Let her know that. If you want to have a full-on, you know, whatever monogamous situation, just be upfront, let her know what it is and roll with it from there. If she don't want to do it, let her go. Leave it at that. I mean, you should be able to disassociate from women to such a degree that, you know, you can put your desires, your wants, your standards on the table and let her take it or leave it and move on. But at the end of the day, most of the problems I'm talking about in this particular episode have to do with men who have articulated. Now, I don't know if that's the case with this gentleman here. I suspect not. But my point is, I'm an advocate for men doing that. And the problem I'm seeing is when men have been upfront about the nature of the relationship they want. And more often than not, you'll have women that'll say, I can change his mind. And then when it becomes clear that he has no interest in changing his mind, begin to try and socially punish him for not doing what she wants to do. And I've seen this time and time again. I've been through it myself. It's absolutely ridiculous. But when you actually have people who are being attacked and killed over this kind of thing, it's a problem. It can make the news, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it gets the attention it needs in terms of how frequently this kind of thing occurs. But in the last 2 years, especially during the pandemic, I have seen so many men and women getting, men in particular, getting run over by cars, vehicles, attacked with weapons. And there's very little conversation about it because I think the prevailing idea is that this is men's fault. Well, at the end of the day, somebody has to call this shit out. And men, we have to start being way more vocal about the nature of this how it impacts us, and how it relates to our experience in regard to intimate partner violence and intimate partner homicide. Peace, y'all.